The wraps are finally off the production version of the Kia EV4, and there is a lot to talk about. There are two versions of the EV4 on the way, a sedan and a hatch. Each can come with a 58.3 or 81.4 kilowatt-hour battery, standard and long range. The smaller battery can get you 255 miles in the hatch and 267 miles in the sedan, while the bigger pack can get you 367 and 391 miles respectively on the WLTP cycle. The sedan's better aero is good for further cruising. Charging with the right plug takes 29 or 31 minutes to get from 10 to 80%, depending on your battery. There's only one power output, 201 horsepower, and that goes to the front wheels. Depending on which one you go for, you can get to 62 from rest in as little as 7.4 seconds and up to 106 miles an hour. The EV4 is quite an imposing thing in the metal. The sedan is 15.5 feet long and 6.1 feet wide, and also 4.9 feet tall. The hatch is a touch shorter and less than half an inch taller, which means that while it's a chunky car, for Europe at least, you can expect plenty of room to play with. The trunk differs depending on whether you go for the hatch or the sedan. 17.3 cubic feet for the sedan and 15.3 for the hatch. Either is more than enough for most people on the day-to-day, though. There's always a bit more if you put the seats down.
Inside, there's loads of space for you and your passengers. There's USB-C slots and plugs to keep your devices and stuff charged. There's cubby holes all over the place for your daily sundries. A nice flat floor to keep your feet comfy and some rather nice seats.
Up front, you'll find actual physical buttons, trim made from various materials, some of which is recycled, and a 30-inch display, which is made up of 3 smaller displays, not one massive one. That's the instrument binnacle, some aircon controls, and an infotainment screen. If you think it's big enough to be a TV, so does Kia. You can stream YouTube, Disney Plus, and more on there, and play games. There's even a theatre mode that uses mood lighting, and if you spec it, the car's Harman Kardon sound system to give a cinematic experience. Well, as cinematic as you can get while you're parked up in the car watching The Incredibles.
As we're living in the future, there is an AI voice assistant which will do most of what you want. I mean, it'll do the temperature and change the radio station, do things like that. It won't cook your dinner or give you film recommendations. As nice as that would be.
When it comes to driving, Kia's paid attention to its suspension setup to make sure your drive is as comfortable and cosseting as possible. McPherson struts up front and multi-link at the rear. It uses something called SFD3 valves to react to the road. Basically, you can have fun in it and your spine won't hate you on a country road, or at least it shouldn't.
You want ADAS? Kia has all of it. If it thinks you're going to hit something, the EV4 will let you know. If you want the car to do some of the hard work on the highway, well, it'll do that for you too. There's also a head-up display to keep your eyes on the road, exactly where they belong. Should the worst happen and you end up in an accident, Kia's aiming for top marks from all of the major safety organisations, so you should be all right.
If one-pedal driving's your thing, iPedal 3.0 is here to make life easy. There are 3 levels to play with, and you can even use it in reverse. Be vigilant, and you'll have the cleanest brake pedal in all the land.
There's a couple of other cool things to talk about as well. Digital Key 2.0 can now work with an Apple Watch, so you can use that to get in and out of your car. That's pretty all right. And there's also vehicle to load and vehicle to grid. So if your power goes out, you can use your car to power your house. I mean, why would you want to miss out on Fortnite? The car can keep the PlayStation on. It's great.
The EV4 follows Kia's opposite united design philosophy and is pretty cool. It's a little unusual in the metal, but that's no bad thing. The firm's lineup is distinctive on the road, yeah, but you'll know you're following a Kia, that's for sure.
When can you have your shiny new Kia EV4 then? Sales kick off in Korea in March and in Europe later in 2025. It should be on sale in the US in 2026 in sedan form only. No plans to bring the hatch over currently, and some of the final specs are still a little TBC. What do you think of the Kia EV4? Let us know in the comments.